they get a bonus point to win over Georgia. But if Fiji and Australia both finish on the same points, Fiji will advance because beating Australia in the pool match is considered a tiebreaker. And that's your PMN News at 5 p.m. For more Pacific news and sports, go to pmnnews.co.nz.
You're listening to PMN Tonga with John Pulu.
Malo le soifua maua ma le lange mama ho e ki haamatapule. It's now 8 minutes after 5 o'clock, lima na kaloko. Ko e whangamaari e koe ni te tauki pakai ai ki he ngahi o ngongo whakalota whanua. In our local news, a peace march through Auckland's Ponsonby this coming Saturday, the 30th of September, will voice decades of Maori and Pasifika elders' stories of injustice of the Dawn raids back in the 1970s. Their voices were suppressed, their stories untold, and their suffering remained hidden in the shadows, but no more. And Mesepa Edwards joins us now via Zoom to tell us more about this monumental peace march that is known as Savali o le Filemu, a peace march. Malo soifua Mesepa, and welcome to our Polo Kalama.
Malo e lau malie kainga tonga katoa. Thank you, Sione, for having me on the show.
Tari fia koe. Welcome to our Polo Kalama. I did mention a little bit about this peace march, but do tell us more about how this idea came about, please, and your connection to this march on Saturday.
Yeah, the story behind the peace march, Savali o le Filemu, was actually instigated through my mum, my 84-year-old mother. So last year, she was invited to tell a little bit of her story about her experiences of the Dawn Raid. Now, interesting enough, before it even got to that point, I was asked to find somebody to give their testimony as part of the Te Leva program, which was post the Dawn Raid apology in 2021. And it was about facilitating programs in the community to bring healing for our community. So I initially didn't really think about my mum, but I actually went to her to ask her if she knew anybody. It was really from that point that she opened up about her experience of the Dawn Raid. Now, that was the first time I got to actually really hear my mum's side of the story. Actually, none of our siblings, the whole family, we never knew that this is what my mum really went through. She's 84 now. So if you can imagine, from the 70s until now, she's actually held that suppressed for so long. But how many more of our other families have done the same thing? So from mum being courageous enough to say, okay, I will come and share my testimony, took a long time of preparation to get her to come forward into the public. Once she had shared her story, it was actually there that she had announced that she wanted to do a peace march. It was her last fight for justice, her last fight for healing for our community, her last fight to stand up and speak on behalf of many who've passed and never got justice. And she wanted to use it as a way to, what is a way in which our community can rise above this? We're talking decades, John. We're talking decades of trauma. We're talking generational trauma. So, and you know, Mum Samoan, but this is not a Samoan thing. I really want to emphasize that. This is a Pasifika thing. This is what happened to all of us. So, you know, it really is representing of all those things that went down for my mother's generation, and how that flowed on to our generation and now mokopuna and great mokopuna. So healing, peace, how do you actually get to that point? How do you actually come to that place of forgiveness sincerely when there's a lot of turmoil politically? There's a lot of what feels like insincerity from the government in terms of the apology. And our people are feeling that because of the announcement in 21 And then they breached that by dawn raiding our community again this year. So Mum's her vision for the Peace March is to encourage our community to stand together. One, because we need closure. We need closure for ourselves, but at the same time, we want to stand together and band together to really fight for a pathway to residency. And as you know, we've had a lot of incredible things move very quickly in the last week in terms of Labour coming out with its announcement.
So let's talk about this, the hope and the aspiration of this peaceful march. And obviously, before we continue, my love and sincere respect to your beautiful 84-year-old, very brave mum, Makalita Edwards, for doing and starting something like this that will speak volume, but also to hopefully bring some closure to what she experienced and many of those, unfortunately, who may have passed without getting to tell their story of the trauma from the dawn raids. But what do you hope that this peace march will, I guess, do on Saturday?
Well, the hope for the Peace March is this part of it is really about bringing our elders to the forefront, having their stories told, having them being seen. That generation who are in their 84, 90, possibly 100 years of age, for them to be seen in this light, that we should never ever forget the sacrifices that they did for us, the privileges that we have because of what they went through. And for many of us who don't know our parents' stories, our grandparents' trauma that they went through, it's to really be able to encourage them to come forward in that light and encourage all of that generation so that we can have a generational healing process. Apart from bringing peace and healing, the importance of encouraging our communities to, we're in an election. We're in a very crucial time. We've been fighting for this for over 5 decades now. We had the apology. We've seen the effects or the impact of that apology, and not much has happened. In this week, the announcement came out. So the hope is that our community, while they have every right to be enraged, while they have every right to be upset about, hey, this is too late. This is way too late. It's just a strategy for you to get us to vote for you and get you, we're not really guaranteed. How can we trust? How can we trust what you said you're going to do? You said that, you said that at the apology and then you didn't. So you've broken that trust. How can we trust that if we give you our vote, that you are going to do the most honorable thing and really bring closure for us so we can heal? The importance for our community is that we don't vote based on our emotions and anger. This is the tough part. To be very sensible, be very wise. To encourage our community to not vote means we lose out. But then to vote, we have an offer. We do have an offer on the table. We can either take the offer and trust, or we can turn our backs in anger and say, no, we don't trust that. And we still lose. We lose out. So, be wise with your decision and who you choose to vote for, is what the hope is out of this. The hope is that our elders are being seen, that they're being recognized, that justice will come to them as well for their stories to be told, and that we can heal from this, but we've got to do it together. And at the end of the day, the power really lies in our hands for us not to be bullied, but it really does lie in the hands of the people.
Oh, yeah. And we will definitely be getting into the amnesty and some of the election issues. We've got 2 Labour MPs joining us later on the program as well, so definitely we'll be touching on that. But coming back to the march that's happening this coming Saturday, please give us the details for our Kāinga Tonga who want to be part of it and who want to share their stories. What are the details, Whamole Mole?
We're asking people to come and gather at 8 o'clock at the top of Franklin Road on Ponsonby. And from 8, we'll wait until about 10 o'clock. We start our march. And then we will Savali together to Western Park, where we will be addressed by the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister Carmel Sepuloni, along with some other key speakers for the march. So please come along, rug up, stay safe, stay warm as well, and we really do hope to see you all there.
Mesepa, as well as your lovely mama Makalita, we send our love and well wishes for the preparations now for Saturday, and thank you for making time for our Polokalama.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Manuel Fiafi.